EdenPure Gen 2. Power's on, fan doesn't work, heater comes on, it says replace UV bulb, and I want to clean it. How to take it apart. A bunch of other videos for the other models say to remove these 5 screws. I found in this model just to decase it, to get at the insides. Don't do that. Take these off, and then 2 more here and here, and that'll start getting the sides ready to pull off. Alright, got those loose. Still won't come off, so we got to pull this back piece off. There's screws here and here. We're going to take those off, tilt it slightly, then behind this there's a wire that's the temp sensor. We're going to clip here, pull the wire out. Close up of the temp sensor cover, clip, clip, and you just kind of push it like that through the back side, and then you saw it flies off. There's the wire, just leave it there. At the bottom, 2 holes, 2 clips, and like I said, I just pull it toward me this way, and when that pops off of there, it'll make a loud crack, but doesn't seem to do any harm. And then just keep pulling and kind of pull up to disengage those clips. Alright, so I'll move the back a little bit. Here you'll see the wire that goes through, and if I try to get it to focus, there's little clips here and here. We're just going to try to undo those and get this off. There it goes. The sun doesn't blind, as you can see there. Pull the little wire off, and then it'll pull through that hole when we get the back off. When you're pulling the back off, there's a plastic thing right there that kind of gets stuck. I just found just pull it slowly and it'll basically pop off. Like that. Now to remove the sides fully, 2 there, 2 there. The sides, we'll have to kind of pull it back this way and then up. That'll disengage this area. Okay, 2 screws off. Just kind of pull it back. Comes right off. You can see there's a lip that tucks in there to get it off. Other side's the same. Now you got the back off and the sides, you can get to a bunch of the stuff. Heater and stuff like that. There's control board cover. Stop there, or if you need to further keep going, like my goal was to clean that vent, we got to keep going, right? So screws here, other side, top will come off, front, more screws, same on the other side, then the front comes off and the top comes off. Not too hard, but kind of a pain. Okay, got all the screws off, front and back, both sides. Now you can just lift it off. Be careful. The touchpad is wired, so don't just go yanking it off. But what you can do is move it back. They give you some slack on the wires there. But what I do is I'm going to hold this up with my special tool water bottle. Now you can disengage the clips, which are similar to the back. You gotta wiggle it, it sounds like it breaks. And there's nothing connected from the board to this. It looks like there's a light, but it's really not. It's just a clear piece of glass for the light to travel to your little indicator. So we'll just give it a wiggle and pop off the front. Got it off. Here you can see these holes, and then there's associated tabs in here, and like I said, you just gotta kind of wiggle it and push at the bottom and wiggle and pull, and then it snaps. It sounds like it all breaks. So here's your vent. It's kind of got this weird foam paint or something on it. I tried taking a bunch of these screws off to pull the front panel off. and so far nothing seemed to come apart. I didn't really want to disassemble the whole entire thing, so I just used a Q-tip with some alcohol on it and a damp cloth to wipe all that. But on this one, like I said, the fan doesn't seem to work, and neither does the UV bulb, so we're gonna have to figure out where those are and what to do about it. Alright, I don't want to have this board in the way flopping around, so I'm going to remove everything, which just unplug this. Then it should come off. Probably a pair of needle nose pliers if your fingers won't fit in there. Pull straight back. At first glance, I don't see any reason why the bulb or the fan doesn't work. Nothing looks burnt. Capacitors aren't popped. You know, of course, who knows without really testing, but I'm going to guess the fan's probably dirty and the bulb is burned out. But nothing looks obviously crisp. I'm going to use the light and shine in so you can see that finned item there is the heater that connects to the board. Here's the heater. And there's the red wires for it. Some more reading. I believe that's just a standard barrel connector. See if I can get the wires to show up. The red and black, they're really, I don't know what those are, 20 gauge, really small wires, which I believe is for the optional light. So I'm not sure if this one actually comes with the light or not. I don't see a spot for one really. I'm going to put a barrel connector in there and turn this thing on and see what the voltage is, because I'm kind of curious if I could add one that's not from the catalog. It's the catalog, it's like 40 bucks. And then I believe that on the back, I still have the guard in place, but I believe that's what that area is for there, for it to clip in that little area there. Put the top back on for the controller panel. Fire this thing up and see if I can spin the fan. It feels not stuck or anything, but I'm not sure how free it should spin, but you can see the dust. I'm gonna get the vacuum and the air compressor and then see if I can tip it on this end, and the shaft was visible through the back. It's kind of hard to see with the camera, but in there, let me get my light. There you can kind of see it, right? Well, keeps compensating, but anyways, it's in there. If I can drip a few drops of oil on it and then turn on this end and get it to go down toward the bearings. So I got to use my light. Old houses never have lights where you want them, right? Well, the fan didn't work, but after I spun it a few times, there it goes. So yeah, it needs some cleaning. I haven't even blown it out or vacuumed it like I said I was gonna. I just spun it with my fingers the few times you saw it, and there you go. It says heating up. Look at that cool red light. Woo! That looks like there's an LED strip in there. And yeah, it's getting warm. So if I turn on the purifier, well, now it doesn't say replace. There it goes, replace lamp, because I don't think it has one. Also, a little side note, if you have these things that have cool down functions, like I turned it off, it's still blowing, just let it keep doing that. That makes the stuff last longer, kind of like your old DLP TVs. Don't use a power strip to turn it off. The fan won't work and you'll pop the bulb. See, I've turned it off. It's been a minute. It's still going, cooling down. Okay, so all cleaned out. Blew it out with the compressor. Spins great now. The power button was cracked, so I put a piece of vinyl over it to keep the dirt and dust out. When I turned it on, it said replace air filter. And I thought, how does it know? Is there like some kind of sensor or a magnet or something? Nope. Found an owner's manual. Push and hold purifier button for 5 seconds deletes the warning. So it must be just a time thing or something. Which I already cleaned it out with water and gonna reuse it. The side panels and all that, really it is installation is the reverse of removal. Is the screws, they're all the same. The black ones are for the back. If you have any with self-tapping style tips, it's because they were supposed to be metal on metal. So like if I take this screw out, it's going to be self-tapping. So before you put the sides on, put the screws for the front plate on after you clip it into the bottom, both sides. And then you can put your sides on with your screws in the top. And then you can put your back on. But before you tighten the back, or actually before you even stab the back, you've got these here. They go through the sides because the back's going to cover it. When I had it outside, I put a barrel plug in there and put a meter on it, and it's putting out around 11 volts AC. This is where that UV kit goes in. I saw on Amazon some 10 volt AC UV bulbs, so it'd be real easy to rig something up in there. That way you could add the optional purifying function with the UVC light. Also, when you're working on it, you might notice these 4 holes. They're for caster reels that are optional on this unit, because mine has a little feet pad, but maybe casters are helpful. Also, all these parts and stuff, I'll leave a link in the description. And I hope this helps fix yours.